What's up, podcast listeners? So let's dive into our video that's going to walk through creating this email and post into a Facebook post, into an Instagram post, and eventually into ads. Again, you can do this if you just have an email. You don't necessarily need to have the blog post. You can see I've got her email pulled up here. This is from MailChimp. You can notice right away just by glancing at it, Alyssa doesn't have anything salesy in here. Click for more photos. There's no discounts. There's no 50% off. There's no buy my art right now. So it's just a romance content email talking about her new studio. If you do get down to the bottom, you click the button. What we have here next is onto her blog. She's got a blog that's bolted onto her Art Storefronts implementation. This is a WordPress blog. Quickly, Alyssa, this is for you. Get rid of this. This is a no-no. This is a no-no. Get rid of that. That's just my own pet peeve, because what it does is it puts your content too low below the fold. Your logo as is very tall. I would probably shrink this a little bit, and then I would definitely get rid of this. It looks cool, but you want the content pulled up. Anyway, it's around pet peeve. So if you click on the MailChimp link, here you are to our blog post, which is a longer piece of content. And I guess it's just about the same as email, but it's got some more photos of it. It's got a related posts. So it's a great place to send people to in a non-salesy fashion. So that's that. Let's work on turning this into a Facebook post. And I talked about the Emoji One Chrome extension, which you see here. It's called Emoji One Keyboard. And what's fantastic about this thing is it can just sit here like this, and it gives you a search engine for emojis. So I can say artist, and boom, look at that. It pulls me up a bunch of artist emojis. I click one. That's a singer one. We're not singers. We are artists and photographers. So there's a woman artist, right? And you've got that copied to your clipboard. It copies automatically, and then you can paste that in. So what I like to do, there's a couple of different ways to go about it. You can just open up Facebook and start creating a post right away. I've actually published this post already, so I went ahead and went ahead of things. But what I would do, just to show, and I've got my Google Doc here. Sometimes it's good to start in a Google Doc, just because it's simple and it's easy. Or you can just come on here, create a new post, and start throwing the text in. So what I did this morning was I kind of looked at this, I truncated it down. This is a pretty long email. I could potentially put this entire email into the Facebook post if I wanted to, and that could be a good way to go. I truncated it down just for the sake of simplicity. And you can see Heavenly Space. So I've got my emojis there, and I pull this thing up. I said, all right, heaven. Okay, there's a dove, and there's a little angel. I could have used the pray hands. I could have used a church, whatever floats your boat, right? And I've thrown some emojis in here to make it a little bit more interesting. This is a text-heavy email by nature, and so what's good to do is spice it up. And by the way, you can use the emojis in MailChimp too. So I would have used them in this email as well. I'm just a huge fan of them in general. They just make reading posts a little bit smoother, a little bit easier. So you start out, you grab the text, you throw it in here. You can see I've got some stuff. My soon-to-be Heavenly Space is under construction. Want to see some more pics and description? And you can click here. And people love these posts where, you have a new studio that's under construction. It's a project. It's a work in progress. How did she go about doing it? What's she going to do in there? She's obviously in some major surgery in this room, which is in her house, I believe, or somewhere. And it's awesome. People geek out on this. I love this. Other artists will love this. Everybody loves seeing a studio progress. It's kind of like a remodel. It's kind of like why those shows on HGTV are so just like crazy popular. So I've truncated the email. I put it into this Facebook post, and I published it on the Art Storefronts. I linked to her blog post. Got some little fingers, little emoji fingers, and again, just grabbing them in here all day long. Got to get this Chrome extension. It makes life so easy. Again, I do believe it's available on Firefox. I do believe it's available on Safari as well. So grab this thing. It just makes it so easy. You search for whatever emojis work and you throw them in. I could have probably even thrown in a few more, but I like to break things up and just make it look clean. So we now have created our Facebook post, and what you can do to create the Instagram post, and I've already created the Instagram post and published it. You can see it's up and running here. The emojis are all in, and I pasted it in. I published this one as well. I forgot the hashtags on this. Don't forget the hashtags on yours. Make sure you include the hashtags on yours. So I've thrown that in there with the photo. With Instagram, you can throw in multiple photos. I probably should have done that, but again, just for the simplicity of keeping this video short and sweet, that's what I've done. A quick trick of the trade, if you will, to get this thing to Instagram, because you're going to want to post this thing on Instagram from your phone. And if you've got a bunch of emojis, that ends up becoming complicated. So what I like to do is I open up Gmail. I run Gmail. Your email might do it as well. And I pasted the text in here. You can see it's picked up all the emojis. And then what I'll do is I would just grab the images, the same images that I'm going to use, and I would just throw them right in the email. And why am I doing this? I'm doing this so that I can email this to myself. I email it to myself, and all of a sudden, I now have 2 images and all of this text. I then copy this text on my phone, and I save these images to my camera roll. Once these are saved to my camera roll, once this is copied on my phone, when I go into Instagram, it speeds the post creation super fast, right? Because boom, you grab these images from your camera roll, you throw them into the Instagram post. Boom, you paste the text. It's more or less the same text. I could have shortened it up if I wanted to do that, or spiced it up a little bit, but you know what? It's about execution speed, so I want to get that done quick and get it rolling. So let's go back to the post. Now, you've got an Instagram post, you've got a Facebook post. They're both up, they're both ready to roll. Fantastic. If you are just getting started in your journey in Facebook ads, you can go ahead and boost this baby. Just boom, boost it. I'd come down here, people you choose for targeting, people who like your page. If you don't have any fans, if you don't have any email list, or you're just getting started, you can do people that like your page. You can do people you like your page and friends. What we want to do, though, is we want to do custom audiences. In this particular dummy account, I've got my customer list and all contacts. So I would use my customer list. I'd come down here and I'd pick 3 or 5 days, set the budget to 10, 20, 15, $30, whatever you feel comfortable spending. It's going to do $666 per day. You've got your Facebook pixel set up. You want to track conversions. Boom, boost now. That ad's live. That ad's ready to go. That took all of about 2 seconds. So that's a really quick and easy way to do it. Boosting posts is a perfectly reasonable way to go about it, especially if you're short on time and you just want it to happen. I mean, I click boost post and that thing's up and running. Boom, done. And you can do the exact same thing on Instagram. You could come in here, go promote. I don't have it properly set up on this account to do it. I'm in like this dummy thing. So you can do the exact same thing here. You can promote the post. You can choose the exact same audience, and you're done. I want to show the more thorough and involved way to do it in Ads Manager. That's how I like to do it. But do not hesitate to think that you can't run promote and you can't run boosted posts, because it is so easy to do. It takes 2 seconds. It's done. Then everything's up, running, rolling, which is amazing. So let's go into Ads Manager and let me show you what I'd like to do. And so I'm going to go ahead and create a new campaign. I'll just call this one Alyssa to keep things simple. And again, I'm in my Facebook Ads Manager. Going to hit this green button. I'm assuming you know how to get in there. And I'm going to go, let's type in here, Alyssa. Now, in terms of a campaign objective, we have some opportunities here. Now, in her case, to go back to square one, we've got an email, and it's not just an email. It's an email that drives to a blog post, right? And so there's the blog post. So what I would probably do in this situation, because ideally I want to get them on my blog, is, let's go back to my campaign. Where was it? Is I would choose traffic. Essentially what traffic is going to do is it's going to get people that are going to come to the blog. That's what we're telling Facebook that we're after. If you're not in that camp, you don't have a blog, you just have an email, you just have the Facebook post, I would do post engagement. Because really what we want people to do is we want people to see this message. We want people to consume it. And, you know, if you're going to have just an email that goes out to your email subscribers, I don't care if they look only at the post on Facebook. What I want to do is make sure I'm top of mind with some non-salesy content. So post engagement is a great one if you're going to do email. I'm going to stick to traffic for hers. I'm going to do auction. I'm going to create my first ad set, and I'm going to do Facebook. And I'll create the thing, and I'll call it Heaven. I can't even spell this one into it, Stuart. Heavenly Space. And I'm going to save that to draft. Okay. It's going to do its thing. It's going to pop this up. Traffic, campaign spending limit, set a budget. I'm not going to do any of this. I'm not even going to worry about that. I'm just going to close that. I'm going to close that. Then I'm going to click it, and it's going to get me into the ad set. I'm going to click edit on this guy. Okay, and here's where I can set my daily budget. So you can do $5 a day, whatever you're comfortable doing. $5 a day is fine. $10 a day. Kind of adjust to taste for where you are. I'm going to go to my custom audiences, and you can see this is the account that we did the LTV thing. So I'm just going to go ahead and throw in my LTV audience. And again, we've got podcast episodes that have gone over this in detail about how to do the LTV audiences. And so there they are. There it is. I'm going to do United States. For most of our customers, they sell United States and into Canada. So I'm going to just keep it to United States and Canada. And the next thing that I need to worry about is placements. Now, you can do automatic placements. For the purposes of this video, I'm going to edit the placements, and I'll explain this in a minute why. I'm going to go ahead and roll with Messenger. I'm going to roll with Audience Network. I'm going to roll with Facebook. I'm going to turn off Instagram in this instance, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and close out of that. Close. Then I'm going to click into the ads group, and here's the heavenly space. Now I'm going to go ahead and edit this. And because, as I made mention, because we've already created the post, it already lives here on Facebook. It's already on our public feed. It's already starting to get organic traffic. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to use existing post. I'm going to select the post. Let me see, where is it? With every conceivable... What in the world is this one? No. Where is her post? Okay, that's super annoying. So I'm going to have to grab the post ID. Sometimes Facebook gets a little bit buggy. You can see here. You can't see here because I'm going to have to move this down. Hold on. Let's move it down. There we go. So this is the post. What I've done is, let me just show you. Because sometimes this is the type of stuff that kicks up on Facebook and can be really, really annoying. I'm going to go to posts. All right, hold on. Now, there's our beautiful AR post, and here's the post. And so you can see here, published by me 1 hour ago. I'm going to click on the 1 hour, and what this is going to do is going to pull up the actual post itself. And you can see up here in the URL bar, they've given us this number. And so I'm going to go ahead and copy this number. What this is the post ID, and we can maximize this again. Now I'm going to go back to Facebook, and you see how it says enter post ID? This is one of those things that every once in a while, Facebook just sort of derps out on. It's annoying. Facebook is annoying just by its very nature. It's absolutely annoying. It's absolutely frustrating. This is just what you do. This is your life as a Facebook advertiser. You have to fight through the quitting points, which is this is one. Normally, what would have happened when I said choose existing post, I would have selected from the list and it would have been there. For whatever reason, it wasn't there, so they're going to make me put in the post ID. Fine. I got you. Nailed it. So there you go. There's the post ID. It's in, it's up, it's done, it's ready to go. I can click publish, and away she goes. That one's done. Boom. So I'm going to close this because I don't want to publish it. I'm not going to run this ad. I'm going to go back to ad sets up here. Okay, see the ad sets tab. And I'm just going to go ahead and duplicate this ad group. So original campaign, 1 copy each, duplicate, great. So what this has done is it's duplicated our ad group. It actually has our ad in it too. I'll show you that in a second. And I'm going to change the name of this one to Instagram, okay? And now that I've changed it to Instagram, everything else stays the same. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down here and I'm going to go ahead and turn on Instagram in the custom placements. Edit placements. I'm going to turn on Instagram. I'm going to turn off Facebook. I'm going to turn off the Audience Network. I'm going to turn off Messenger. And there you can see I've got Instagram feed and stories. This particular thing is not formatted for the story format, so it's just going to go into the feed. But we'll address that in a second. Okay, boom, done. Close. I don't need to publish it yet. I'm going to click Instagram now, and let me get out of this because this is confusing a little bit. We're going to turn that off. I'm going to go back to ad sets. Okay, I'm going to select Instagram, ads for one ad set. I can just click here, heavily spaced. The one in draft with this X on it is our Instagram one. So I'm going to go ahead and click edit on this. Okay, and you can see it's giving me these error messages because it's selecting the Facebook post. And so what I'm going to do is now I've connected the Instagram post. I'm going to go create ad, come back to existing posts, and I'm going to select from the drop down And what this has given me now is you can see these little icons. Here's Facebook. Here's the Instagram icon. Because we have set up the Instagram post already, it's ready to go. Now, it's asking me for a website URL. This is a kind of a little curveball that Instagram throws you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to our blog post. I'm copying this URL. You can't see that, but that's what I'm doing. Then I'm going to come in here to Ads Manager. I want to go boom, paste. And typical, for some reason, it's not showing me my preview. And I'm going to do the button, which is, I think there's a learn more in here that I like to use. Yep, learn more. And so you can see I've got the link to our blog post here. I've got learn more. Okay. Now this one is ready to go. It's ready to roll. It's because it's published on Instagram already. It's just taking this one that's already published, and then it's going to throw a little bar here that says learn more with a link. And so now you've got an ad unit that's running in Instagram. So I'm going to go ahead and publish both of those, and I'm just going to close this for now. And now I've got a campaign with 2 ad sets, Facebook and Instagram. Now, why am I showing you this way? There's about 300 ways to do anything in Facebook. I'm going to run it this way, and I'm going to recommend that Alyssa run it this way because I want to gauge after this baby's been running for a while, and maybe I'll have to make a follow-up video that how I look at this. But what this lets me do is it has Facebook and Instagram campaigns or ad sets and ads running concurrently with one another. And so what that's going to allow me to do is compare the traffic from Facebook to Instagram after the fact, and I'm going to get to say, do I get better results with my art, my message, my whole jam? Do I get better results on Instagram than I do on Facebook? How much better? And what do those results look like? And so that just gives you a quick granular way without getting too complicated to look and see which one performs better than you. And then if you find out that one of them blows the other one out of the water, well, maybe that's something that we're going to take a look at and think through and contemplate when we start running our campaigns down the line. Maybe not. Maybe they perform the same. So it's just one of those things that's worth investigating. And, my last step would be review and publish. It's got some sort of error here that I have to go back and look at. I'm not sure what that is. Let's see. Resolution is too low. Oh, yeah. So something happened when I uploaded the image and the resolution was too low. That's another stupid bug. I don't know what it is. But it's not worth going and fixing and getting another image. It's not worth changing. But I would have to delete the Instagram post, re-put it back up, and I think that's probably just something I screwed up on. I think probably because I downloaded the image from her email, directly from her email, rather than having it, raw and natively, which would have been a better bet. But anyway, I review and I publish, and you're done. That's it. Now, that didn't take me that long. I mean, this video is 17 minutes in me teaching. If I just did all of that in terms of execution speed, it probably would have taken me, I didn't show the actual authoring it and in the mind space that went into that. But, practically speaking, an additional 30 minutes. If it's your first time doing it, you have to watch everything step by step. It might take you an hour and a half. But, like anything, rote is the key. You do it a couple, 2, 3, 4, 5 times, and you're good to go. And, one other thing that I would say is Facebook and Instagram have all of the attention right now. All of your buyers, all of your prospective buyers, all of your buyers that don't know they're buyers yet, they don't know about you, they need to get to know you. Taking content like this and throwing minuscule budgets at them, $5, $10, $15, $20, and making it a part of your marketing and your active marketing going forward is so powerful and so effective. If you think through some of the other activities that you're doing to build your art career. Maybe you're going to shows or the shows or fairs or gallery shows, or you're paying to advertise somewhere else, or whatever the case may be. Or, you're doing the doctor's office thing. This was a super hot button post in the forum, whether you should put things in a cafe or a post or whatever. There's costs. I mean, the point is there's costs to any and all of that, right? And so you have to look at that holistically and say, that is a part of my marketing budget. And the ROI I'm getting from that is such and such. Well, what if you just said, I'm going to spend $100 a month. I'm going to post once a week. I'm going to spend, $10 a week, $20 a week, $30 a week, or go bigger on the one time that you're doing it once a month. But this technique, this tactic that we've gone over here, which is email, Facebook, Instagram, all firing, all cylinders, all at the same time, it just works. It's so effective to get people's attention. And if you have a good piece of content that resonates, you can run this thing to an ad, to cold traffic, or to people that are not on your email list. There's so many things you can do with it. And, it seems difficult in execution, but once you get the hang of this and you do this a couple of times, it really is pretty fun and it's pretty easy. So it's a campaign, a tactic, a technique I highly, highly recommend. One thing that we didn't cover is running a story. Running the stories are really, really easy too. And I can see, here's Jeff. He's a customer of ours. How to clean a tripod after a long trip. Whirlpool bath. I could have just as easily used one of those images from her post and said, new studio in construction, check it out, right? And just by throwing a story in there as well, which you can do really, really easily, you put yourself in a position where you're getting one additional pop at people's attention. So I didn't cover the story thing, the creation, but pretty easy to do. Any of these photos, guess what I'm working on? Question mark, funny emoji. Boom. You have another way of getting their attention, grasping their attention. So I hope this helps. I hope this encourages you to do it. The video, I know I talk fast and I move fast. You can start it and stop it and rewind it. Take it step by step, and you can do this. Once you learn it, you'll get there. And guys, the fourth quarter is coming. And even if you're listening to this in the future, this technique works all year long. This is something that we do at Art Storefronts. So we really encourage our customers. I really encourage you, podcast listeners, to think through this. Give it a shot. You can be done for an extremely, extremely small amount of money, and it works 100% of the time. It's tried. Thanks, and have a great day.